Alright, we are recording. Continuing in Mad Max, key was provided by WB Games back when I originally reviewed it, which is when the game came out. Last week I talked about how I was taking a break, and in some ways I'm still on that break, but for the most part I'm not. I don't know exactly how you'd want to classify it. Let's... What is it that I want to go up here? Yeah, I'm doing this. Is it just the two? Oh, that's perfect. View. There. But yeah, in a way, I'm still on it, but not quite. By that I mean, I have certain other projects that are a high priority, basically, and I'm gonna... I set them as a high priority as part of the break. I haven't finished them yet, and I do want to get them done before I get back to the other stuff. One of them is doing a bunch of recordings in the game. And what did I see?
Track boy.
Was it for the game? Was it like 20-hour playthrough? Anyway, oh, that's it's art. Two? I need to deal with the sniper first.
Here I am!
So yeah, there's... And it's funny, it's like, you want to be on this break, and what happened? I got two review queues. One of them, is... another early access title, Phantom Abyss, which has come out. I got the key like days ahead, and I am interested in the game. I do want to do something with it. But at the same time, it is a multiplayer focused game. You don't play multiplayer. It's asynchronous multiplayer, which is not... And still, I tend not to do multiplayer games because I don't have friends. But I do want to do something with that. And then another game that I still have some... I think I still have time for that one. I'm trying to remember. Is that actually might also be an early access game. I don't remember now. But regardless, because I want to get this other stuff done first, that one's going to wait. And one of the things will hopefully just be a day or two. But then the recording is out. Sorry, but it is... I do have other projects, other things that I do than just the stuff for OCC. But I keep track of all the review keys so that I can go back to do them. I mean, it's like... Some of them are old, I will admit. Yeah. And it does sadden me when I see how many are there. But it's just, I've not always had the time. Where it's like, oh, I'm juggling 3 different reviews, 3 different keys to review at the moment. Oh, I'm not even at the right one. And it's like, you know, invariably, like, one of the games I'll end up neglecting because I'm trying to do the other 2. It's, you know, stuff like that just happens. But that's even when it's like, nope, completely focused on this game. Well, completely focused on the OCC work, not at all focused on the other stuff that I have to do. I mean, since I'm here, man. But, yeah, so we'll just see how it goes. With timing and stuff like that. It was highlighted, so I didn't know why it wasn't. The GOG summer sale is coming to an end shortly, but as part of its ending, you can get the Shadowrun Trilogy for free. It's a giveaway if you go to the GOG homepage. It's right there. And also the Steam summer sale has started, and I think I will. I've been thinking about it for a while. But I think I actually will spend the 20 and get the Halo Master Chief Collection. I am interested in the games, but it's also the recordings I do, the heart rate and gaze tracking recordings. I've been thinking those could be, the Halo games could be good for that. And I asked a friend of mine who is very deep into Halo, and has been for years, what he thought. And he thinks they'd be good. So yeah, I probably will spend the 20.
What you got?
Is it just... Okay. He's just picking up the minefield that far away. I was concerned I just found another minefield that I had no... Yeah, but otherwise I don't think I'll spend any money, because, I mean, I don't need to spend any more money at the moment. I have so many games. So it's like adding to the list of games to do those recordings in is not really necessary, but I doubt that it's ever going to be priced less than 20. So might as well take advantage of it now. Let me see, as far as the other news, so cover those 2 sales, and also the Epic Games Store sale has ended. It's no longer going on. I don't remember when that was supposed to end, though. The only 2 things I really have in my notes... Actually, you know what, there is a third thing I can mention. Might as well do that first, because it was interesting. I got a random call from South Carolina concerning... Oh, that's it. Hang on just a second. I want to put this one in. So, a minute. I want the Edge of Eternity update. I actually do want to remember to talk about that. But yeah, so I got this phone call from South Carolina. It's like, what the hell? I don't know anyone in South Carolina. I don't know why anyone in South Carolina would be calling me. So I didn't pick up. That's, you know, my normal thing. If I don't know the number, why would I pick it up? It's like, even if it's a, hey, we want to talk to you about, you know, doing a job interview or whatever, because I do apply for jobs, and, oh no, none in South Carolina. There was one in Georgia I applied for over a month ago now. Haven't done anything back on that, but anyway. It's like, if that's the case, it's like, you know, you leave a message, and I don't like it if a place is gonna be like, oh, we want to talk to you, but we don't let you know that we want to talk to you until we're just calling you in the middle of the day. Anyhow, got a call from South Carolina. It's like, what is this? I don't know why to gain this call. I just listen to the message, and what is it? It's UPS calling because they have a package that, you know, like, they don't have a proper commercial invoice for it, and it's from Poland. And it's like, you know, we don't know what's in it. Can you tell us? It's like, I have no idea. I didn't know I was expecting it. Painley Techline sent out something more, like they did how many weeks ago now? Talking about the first Dying to Know episode, the Dying to Know stream where they announced the release date for Dying Light 2. They are doing episode 2 of that. And apparently it's, at least I'm guessing, I think that's what they said, because I asked them about it. That what they're sending had the information, you know, like the Twitch channel address and also the timing. I also got it as a press release though, so I put that into the Friday write-up. It's noon Pacific. Is it July 1st? On the Techline Twitch channel? I don't remember exactly. I can quickly check. But still, it was just a funny thing just randomly getting this call, because it's like, oh, you have a package coming from Poland that we need that paperwork on. Need you to tell us what's in. Not something that happens very often in my life. I have a very, very boring life. Not that I want random packages, random international packages, but it's like, what is this? I do want to talk about the Edge of Eternity update, but I'll do that last because the other things I think are more important.
For him now.
So first thing on the list, it would be Fidelity Effect Super Resolution is finally available. It's finally out. Let me try. Yes. Ooh. This is not good. I was like, this is just very, very horrible timing. It's like the moment I'm calling them, so I have no speed, is also the moment that they arrive. Oh, and of course, this is actually right here. So I'm just gonna, I have to. Of the, I think it's 8 games that have support.
We bested him! Hurry up.
I only have one, Evil Genius 2, and I did look at it, and it's the stuff that I've seen from people that have more diverse selection seems to also be true, which is in 1920 by 1080. It even at ultra quality, you can still see that you're working with a low resolution image. It doesn't look that bad, but it's also Evil Genius 2 is not the most high detail game. But as I said in the forum thread, I think I also put that in the little 2 paragraphs I did about fidelity effects in the write-up. That I only have 1080p class monitors, class displays, so I can't make as full a study of its influence, of its impact. So I don't know how much I'll do with it.
A warrior comes a-walking. Maybe to try beating the tar out of Lord Scrota's transfer campus. His pups built this to transport crude. It's got protection, though. Fair warning. Some of the pups can bite a mite. I've seen war bucklers in there.
But it did work, right away. It's like once I had the update installed for Evil Genius 2, all I had to do was, launch the game, and there it was. It's not like there is a driver update. That is true, but not necessary for.
Looks like it could be hard getting in there.
Just trying to decide, do I want to shoot anything more? I don't think so. I will that out. I was also holding R, so it's like, ooh. Yeah, there is a new AMD driver out, but I didn't install it on the desktop. That it adds support for FSR, but it's not needed. I assume it will improve. It may help some things. It may make its performance a bit better, but it is not necessary. Clearly, because I was using it. There. Now, even though, yes, I only have 1080 class stuff, I will still, Edge of Eternity is supposed to get an update that adds FSR, and it supposedly, I don't know for sure because I haven't installed it on the test system with an RTX GPU. It supposedly does already have DLSS. So for me at least, it may be the first game that I will have access to with support for both technologies. So when the time comes, yeah, I may take the time then to investigate that, but I don't know when that update is. So I don't know how the timing will work out for that. So yeah. But the so far though, it does seem like FSR is. Oh, this is bad. Ah, well. I guess I'll just have to fight them amped up. The general consensus I saw at different things that were deeper analysis of the performance and the image quality were basically that it's better than a lot of people were thinking, because a lot of people had low expectations for it, I think. It's like, let's be fair, there were people that weren't expecting much. It is definitely better than DLSS 1.0.
All those things I pulled. It was just a spur of the moment thing. Nothing personal.
But the performance uplift is still, it's better than DLSS 1.0, I think. It's definitely image quality-wise better. I remember the image quality stuff from 1.0 in Metro Exodus main. I also do kind of remember it still from Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But legitimately, with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, that was I turned on, I looked, it's like, nope, this is garbage, moving on. With Metro Exodus, I did look at it a bit more. But yeah, oh man, DLSS was, it really was. 2.0 is definitely better. It still has problems, but it's definitely. And FSR is not quite there yet, but it's also at 1.0. It even says that in the games, 1.0. I know it does in Evil Genius 2. I've also seen in the different things of people examining them. In other games, it also says 1.0 there, so the implication, at least, is yes, they are going to be making updates and such too. Which should surprise no one. What I'm curious about, though, is how some of the updates will go, because it is reasonable to me that, because right now it's only a spatial system. That's all it is. It's just spatial upscaling. So it will not introduce any temporal artifacts, such as ghosting, which DLSS 2.0 can suffer from in some games. Not all. It varies. But you can see it in some. I did see that in Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition. Although they also, 4A Games also has its own temporal stuff there, so a little hard to tell from me. But, exactly where it is. But it is. I've seen people sharing that, yeah, it's, you can see the ghosting here, there, and all. Anyway, it's purely, FSR is purely spatial, not temporal. So then that would suggest then that could be an avenue for, to read this.
Things were getting rough all over. Not just in the killing zones.
So adding temporal, the ability for it to do temporal accumulation, would be one avenue to improve it. Personally, what I hope how they do it, because it's already described as a, oh, I didn't even see the warning until he was already there. I would The current system is 2 passes. One is an edge reconstruction system, and that's what actually does the upscaling. And the other is labeled robust contrast adaptive sharpening, which is apparently a variant of CAS, the sharpening filter that AMD put out a while ago. Was the first fidelity effects effect. Anyway, what I was saying before I got distracted by the fight, what I would like to see them do is use a modular approach where they would just add in, where it would become like 3 passes or something for having the temporal system. Because that way you can have it where a developer can decide, you know what, we don't need this or we don't want this, and it can be disabled, and potentially, and then you don't include it, you just use it spatial. But also, I could see it working as the player can decide, I don't need the temporal. It's like if it could also be disabled that way. I do think that would be a superior approach to just making a black box update. Plus, it's going to be open source anyway, so I would think that that kind of thing would be possible. We will have to see, but I would think that would be the case. It's not open source yet, though. The source code will be shared mid-July. Yeah, so it's a good addition. Good technology to add. Oh, really? I finished it? I wasn't expecting to have, already found everything. So, yeah, just, I do want to look into it, but as I said, I don't have a suitable display for really getting into it. Where was the water? Is it up here? Yeah. Don't remember. I have it there. I might as well just heal myself up as much as I can. It'll also be interesting to see how NVIDIA may respond, because as at least one place, I know Hardware Unboxed mentioned it, at least in their Q&A that they started this week. They do monthly Q&A videos, typically 3 of them, and one of them, they did mention that, like, NVIDIA responding to FSR, if they were to suddenly make DLSS 3.0 and have it be something that doesn't require tensor cores, that's really going to hurt them, because it would basically expose that you don't need the tensor core. Which I want to say is already kind of true. I mean, not completely, no. I mean, actually running the trained neural network may require them, but it's clearly, there are methods of achieving that same end that don't have that hardware requirement. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, AMD's kind of showing that, nah, you don't need this specialized hardware that you have to pay extra for. You can just have it work this way. Oh, and something I did forget to put into the write-up, and I'm not sure how really necessary it is anyway. Microsoft updated their games development kit, which would be for like Xbox games, to add super fidelity effect, super resolution to. So that will make it coming to Xbox and such easier.
Even the littlest ones are armored up.
Wanted to just slam it at both. There we go. Something else from this week with AMD that does have some people upset, and it's like, I'm not really sure how much emotion it's worth getting. But they have ended driver support for the pre-Polaris GPUs, which some of them, are like 8 to 6 years old. And it seems like a lot of people are upset, like, we're still using them. Well, obviously they would still be using them, because even an older GPU, you can still see plenty of use. But it's just been interesting to see the people freaking out over it, because, I mean, they're old GPUs. And I don't say that as in, who cares about old GPUs? I mean, they're developed. They're optimized already. You're not gonna get, like, new features on them, because they don't have the hardware support for some. It's like, we're not gonna see DirectX 12 for some of the latest DirectX 12 stuff supported on the R9 200 series. It's too old. It doesn't support it. So at most, you may be like, well, security updates, or, which security updates for drivers are not that common. They do happen, but they're not that common. Or, in theory, performance optimizations for games. But let me tell you something. I think I have once actually seen it where updating the drivers fixed something in the game. It was like there was a legitimate serious issue. It was with Splinter Blacklist, by the way, when I was reviewing it. It was only then where it's like I needed to update it needed to update the drivers in order to, like, continue playing it and to address some very bad graphical issues. I've not seen that basically in anything else. And even performance uplifts. It's like sometimes for some games you'll see, oh, it's a 15% performance upgrade, but that even then, that's not all that common. So yeah, it's one of those, you probably, I mean, they're almost certainly well past the point of diminishing returns, optimizing for those GPUs in the drivers. So yeah, I'm just, I don't see the cause for upset with it. I mean, obviously, if it were the Polaris series, I would be more upset, because I'm currently running one. But it's also, I am running out-of-date drivers, and they work fine. They have not given me any trouble in any game, so it's kind of hard to say that, needing to stick to old drivers for them would actually be that big a problem. Yeah, I mean, you do have to drop support for things eventually. And for those being like, oh, but, you can still find these things on the used market and get them today, whereas you can't get the newer GPUs today. You can't even get Polaris GPUs today without paying a lot in some cases. It's like, okay, yeah, that's a fine point. Here's the thing, though. Okay, that one.
It's inside your brain.
The older drivers will still work. I mean, it's not like you're losing the capability to use the cards, to use those GPUs. They're just not going to be updated going forward. And also, if you're buying an older card, you should recognize that it's older. Support isn't going to last so long. And there's also going to be features that it will never get. It will never be able to support. So, yeah. So the other thing from this week that does also kind of go to feature support, Windows 11, which I did mean to, but I forgot about the announcement event for that. Yeah. So as part of taking the break, I've been playing some games that I want to put more time into. I want to enjoy. So I did some more in Loop Hero, which also got a handy update recently. So that's been part of the reason to do that. In Going Medieval, even though that's not really gotten a significant update, also that's just I wanted to start another map going where I'm building underground, but with it on peaceful. So that way I have two that will be underground, two maps where they're underground, one peaceful, one not. But also the last spell, and unfortunately it wiped. Apparently a recent update meant that the save file that I had from the review was no longer valid, so I had to start over on that, which wasn't super happy about that. I mean, it's a fun game, so having to put more time into it like that is not too big a deal, but still is it's not really fun to lose out on all that work. So how's that relevant to the Windows thing? Because it's like, I got an hour, and I've already put in some time into these, and it's been like half an hour that I've been spending before I die, because I just started over. So I don't have all the neat new weapons. I don't have all the updates and such, all the upgrades and such for the heroes you start with. I don't have any of that yet. Yeah, I ended up going 2.5 hours on what was probably one of my best runs in that game to date. I made it all the way to night 6. I think before I finished reviewing it, I got through night 5 once. I know I got to night 5 once. But that what was never that early. Definitely, I needed to spend more time in it before in order to even get close to that. And it's like I'm making it that far. It's like, wow, 2.5 hours later, and then it's like, oh crap, Windows 11 was just announced and I missed it all. So I had to go off of what Microsoft has shared, like the blog posts kind of stuff. And definitely interesting. One thing that I saw later that could be a problem for me, I don't know, I'd have to restart my desktop to find out, is the normal hardware requirements for it aren't that bad. Like, most systems today should be fine with it. But there is also a requirement for TPM, which I think is Trusted Platform Manager. And that is I don't know if I can actually mark that or not. That is either a motherboard feature, and apparently some motherboards you can install the chip yourself. It has a slot that you can put in. And for others though, and this is hopefully the case for me on the desktop, is AMD uses FTPM, which is a firmware base, so it would be in the CPU. It's not dependent on the motherboard. Yeah, hopefully that would just be something that gets changed. A lot of people I've seen are making the point a normal user doesn't need this feature. Why is Microsoft requiring? Which is a legitimate question. There's other things to Windows 11 though that may deserve greater scrutiny than that though. Like I saw NeoWin had a thing sharing the depreciated features. And among things on the list is for me is very much a, oh hell no. Taking away pinning on the start menu, which I do use that in Windows 10. But it's been probably versions of Windows. Very odd that you would remove that. But also the capacity to have folders in the start menu. Yeah, that's the... Oh, hell no. You're not doing that. Why would you ever think that taking away this fundamental organizational means for the start menu, the way you access the various applications on your system. Why would you take that away? I don't think that whoever decided on that actually uses Windows. I'm serious. I'm half serious. Also, just mocking it. But part of the reason why I say that they can't be using it is the number of programs that when you install them, install multiple links to the start menu. Okay, like you get the one link, but like to launch it, but you also get the uninstall. You also get, in some cases, multiple versions of it. Like R, what I use for processing data, that will install both in 32-bit and 64-bit. So there's links for both. Help me files. It's like those get all put into a folder, and I can then, put that. I can like hide that folder. I can put that folder somewhere else in the start menu so that it's still accessible, but it's buried so it doesn't clutter the list. And with this, but by dropping the folder stuff, then it's like, nope, we're just gonna put you through these messy lists. It's like, yeah, no, you hopefully that will be the insiders will rise up and say, no, you are not doing that. Some other changes, like you won't be able to change where the taskbar is, so it'll always be on the bottom of the screen. It's like, yeah, whatever. I know some people like putting it on the side. There are also some that will put it on the top, so that it reflects what you see with Mac and Linux, also Windows applications. And I knew one guy who he put on the top, and he argued because that's what all of it is. And it's like, yeah, but to me, that's actually the reason I have it on the bottom. So that way you do have that distinction between these are controls for the application, these are controls for the operating system. It's like, so I like it being on the bottom, but I definitely understand though people that disagree, that want it somewhere else. And well, looks like you're not going to have that capability with Windows 11. At least not natively. Yeah, I've seen the head of Stardock has been making some comments about how, hey, we make this software that lets you change how these things appear and such. Like this start menu, how windows are handled on the desktop, icons are handled on the desktop, all that. So it's like, yeah, they depending on how things actually turn out, I may be buying the stuff from them, or who knows, maybe I'll because I am on their press list, maybe I'll be able to, I know I was offered once, this was a while ago, review keys, but it's like, because we don't really do that stuff too much, and to be honest, I don't think that the need for some of that is very high. I do understand the desire for it, don't get me wrong, but the need for it I don't feel is high enough. And since, I don't know how well really aligns with OCC's normal stuff, and this was also years ago, by the way, but it's like, if it's like, nope, this is the crap you have to put up with in Windows 11, I might be going, hey, so these new versions, can we get review keys? I will definitely spend the time with them. Yeah, it's... Was there anything else? Let me... Okay, yeah. Don't have anything else listed for Windows 11. And also, yeah, I know, the whole start menu with stuff and the actual, like, task... Well, the way it lists the applications being bottom center, it's like, why? If I wanted a Mac, I'd buy a Mac. I don't want a Mac, I want Windows. Why are you upsetting 25 U's? Hopefully, as I put into the thing talking about the announcement, hopefully they will either just get enough criticism that say, nope, they're undoing it, or, just as good, they have a setting for it. Fine, let that be the default, or just let it be an option. But let you know, people that enjoy how it was before use it how it was before. Oh, and by the way, with the whole the folder stuff, the NeoWin thing talking about the appreciated did say that when you update, it would basically just do away with the folders for the start menu and such. And it's like, no. I mean, it's. I'm not. It's one of those serious jokes, you know. It's sort of mocking satire kind of thing. When I said that, I think whoever was making that decision doesn't actually use Windows. Like, has no idea of its actual value, how people use it. And the worst part is that would have to be something that went through that decision. So there's multiple people at Microsoft that have no clue, or are afraid of whoever's making, of whoever it is saying should be done. And no, I don't believe anyone at Microsoft. I honestly, it's always weird whenever I see that there's a new subscriber for any of my channels, because like I don't actually believe that anyone watches any of it. But it is just one of those. If it ever got back to Microsoft, me saying that I don't think that the people putting forward some of these decisions are actually using Windows, I will say that to their face. Because like, why? This makes no sense. Anyway, let me read this.
I can't remember the innocence of Snow. Man.
Oops. But yeah, because I mean, it's. You also see this with other places as well, where it's like, no, you have a different product. You're competing with the likes of Mac. You're not Mac. So why are you, investing any effort to make yourself like that? It's like you want people to have the choice between these different things. You also see that with like Mozilla and Chrome, with Firefox and Chrome. It's like, no, Chrome is Chrome. Let Firefox be Firefox. Why is Mozilla making decisions that align it more closely with Chrome? Aside from the whole Google is, kind of an evil internet company. No, hear me out. Maybe evil is the wrong word. Villainous might work better. There are standards for the internet, and Google doesn't give a shit. They really don't. They just do whatever they want. They make up their own standards. And this isn't a joke. This does happen, where there are accepted, agreed upon standards for the internet. Like how things are encoded, how things are displayed, how things are rendered. And Google will just change that for their own thing, make sure that Chrome supports it. And then because of the market share Chrome has, because of the power that Google has, it is compelled as a new standard, even though it's not. It's what they wanted versus what the actual openly decided on standard is. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like how when Edge first came out, it had a very advanced rendering system.
You done even half of what they say of you. Lord Scrotus, dead or not, will come to claim your liver.
Don't know how that helped. Yeah, okay, let's stick it. Yeah, when Edge came out, it had a very advanced rendering system for that. So like YouTube was actually faster, was more efficient in Edge than in Chrome. So what did Google do? They added an invisible, transparent overlay to YouTube that did absolutely nothing. It was transparent. It was just there because it then tricked Edge to not run the optimized code. So it had to render it an older way, which was less efficient. Now, eventually, Google may have implemented their own more efficient code, but that's what they did. They basically, went counter to having a fair internet, where it's just, however things, you leave it to how things rendered, as opposed, and you don't try to complicate it for your own benefit, to do exactly that, complicating it for their own benefit. So it is better to distinguish yourself from your competitors, and it is better to basically obey the standards that are agreed upon.
Everyone lost everything. Eventually.
And if the standards aren't good enough, then, propose new ones. I mean, yeah. I'm sorry, it's like, you succeed by standing out. You don't succeed by blending in. And, it's kind of like with Windows 8, the turn towards it being more mobile-like. And honestly, some of the screenshots of Windows 11 showing the start menu open and so much empty space on either side, and it basically takes up to the center portion of the desktop, and so much empty space on either side then, it immediately made me think of a mobile operating system. Where it's like, here's the home screen, and then you've got the two additional screens on the left and right. And it's like, everybody panned Windows 8. It wasn't horrible. 8.1 definitely helped a lot. But it was like, what made it better was disabling the stuff that made it mobile. That made it seem like a mobile experience. It's like, keep that, keep distinguishing yourself. And in the case of Microsoft, it's also, you have decades of design behind you. So why are you not continuing that? Why are you not taking advantage of that? It makes no sense. It really doesn't. And it could be, honestly, it really could be that it's just somebody with the power to make certain decisions or to suggest certain decisions intimidates the people around them. That legitimately is an issue in some places. Like, I've seen that with game development, where you basically have people making decisions that the decisions that they're making, they technically don't have any right to make. Like, that's not their department kind of thing. But for whatever reason, they're the one being allowed to make the decision. I've seen that happen. And it does not help the game. But people don't challenge it because they might be afraid. Yeah, I mean, and then you end up, with a product that is inferior. And there's nothing, I mean, once you hit release, sometimes you can't do much about some of it. Some of it you can't. It depends. Which reminds me, the Edge of Eternity update. Which it includes several things that I'm definitely happy to see, such as they collected together the I haven't actually launched the game to confirm this, by the way, but collecting together shops in towns so that you don't need to run around. It's like, that is something that I did complain about in the review, although I was specific to just the crafting. But it is also the case for some of the shops. The crafting was the more annoying to me, though, because like, I have to craft over here, craft one part over here, and then I have to go over there to craft the other stuff. But this, the shops are supposed to be close together, and also some of the limits have also been removed. So, like, if I find out wherever it is I can purchase what was it? Gentleman's friend? Horseman's friend? I can't remember now. There's something that I need for, like, all the stuff I want to craft next requires that I have this. I don't remember what it is. And it's like, if I find a shop that finally sells it, I can just buy up all I want of that to make sure I can craft everything. It's like, that's definitely a good improvement. There was other stuff. The gem crafting has been improved, apparently, as well. You can now, like, select certain things concerning what the new gem will be that you've crafted. Which, I don't know. I would need to launch the game and actually look at it, and I haven't yet, because I've been busy with other things. It's like, that could also be good. It's like, there's a reason why I went into the forum thread for the review, not just because it's a recent review, to comment that, hey, we got these changes. They also, one of the,
Expose him and stick him!
it said that one of the, near the end of the game, you have a quest to find obsidian tablet pieces, and one of the patch notes was that one of them couldn't be found or was inaccessible. No, I got all of them, but one of them was inside of a wall. So that's fixed. Yeah, I'm guessing that it's fixed. I have no way to confirm that because I already, got it. It's not going to go back. And I am not going to play the game just to test that. But still, it's that's a good thing. Oh yeah, and also appears that they finally fixed the ordering to the elemental affinities between what you see when, like, they're just over the enemy's heads versus when you are moused over them, and they are now shown in the upper left of the HUD. So I mentioned that in the review as, a bug, because it is a bug. That is a bug. Why it was there makes no sense to me. I mean, it's like, that should have been caught. And maybe it wasn't, just, it's like, hey, higher priority things we'll take care of first. I think that was also the bug I reported. Because I did report one bug during the review playthrough. I think that may have been it. By the way, this is stupid of me to do because I don't have armor.
Sneak shot got his gun on us!
I really should just start the mission at some point so I can get armor on this thing, but anyhow. I'm trying to think, what was some of the other things? I know there were other. There was also fixes for the subtitles not having names. It's like, I don't recall, maybe once or twice, names not being listed for subtitles. More often it was the wrong name. So I'm guessing that that's what is actually being fixed. Either way, good to see that. So yeah, it's good changes. Still, there's probably some more I'd like to see. And you can read the review to find out about that. That was a critical review, and I know. Even though it's... And I hope I managed to explain it well in the review. I know I tried to explain it in the review playthrough when I got to the end and was, like, wrapping things up. That it's... The game, yes, does have weaknesses. But it also does... It is pretty fun. Like, the core stuff that matters in the gameplay is pretty good. It does have some spots where it's like, okay, you need polish here. But in that core stuff was still, it needed polish. Versus, other things, like the situation with the gems, crystals, the crystal crafting, more so. Where it's like, no, that's more of a, you need to fix this. It's like, this is a problem versus this is something that can be improved upon. There we go. Man, all you need was the one. They also said they reduced crafting cost. Which, depending, yeah, is also something that would help with some of my criticism. Because it wasn't necessarily the cost that would be annoying at times. As it was what it was that you needed. Like, that one ingredient that I need to do any of the additional crafting I want to do. It's like, it came down more to that than just what the amounts were. Although the fact that it's like, oh, you need 2 of this to make that. Well, you need 2 of thing 0 to make thing 1. You need 2 of thing 1 to make thing 2. You need 2 of thing 2 to make thing 3. It's like, that does get annoying. But is not itself a, oh, we need to, just reduce it. So you can just make sure it's not that painful to get the stuff that you need. And I don't remember if I did put into the review, and I know I complained about doing the review playthrough, though, that it felt like they just kept adding on crafting ingredients instead of trying to consolidate things, so that, instead of there being a few dozen crafting ingredients, maybe more than that, to make the different things, having, say, a dozen crafting ingredients to make everything. Maybe a dozen would be too few. I mean the base level ingredients, not because there's more than a dozen, I think. Well, maybe there is a dozen, the higher level stuff that you make from the base crafting ingredient. But it's just, when you get that many, it's just, you don't really see it anymore. You don't care. It's just overwhelming, so you tune it out, kind of thing. Trying to think what else I can talk about. By the way, I had considered,
Down, Scarecrow!
since I got the Phantom Abyss key and that's out, using that for the stream today. Well, today and yesterday. Remember, I record these on Friday, but they go live on Saturday. I had considered it, but I decided not to, because I don't want to put some time into a game and then it potentially be weeks before I can get back to it. Because it's like, then I'll either have set an imperfect impression early because of not having enough time. I mean, just, yeah, I think it would be better to wait and try to do it at one go. But I am interested in the game. I do want to do something with it. It's just timing has not been great. Alright. There. Oh, almost got one thing. That is neat. Not necessarily needed, though. Windows 11 will have support for running Android applications. Ooh, right at an hour. Okay. I wanted to check how long I've been doing this. Which is neat. I can see that being useful, although where was it? I'm trying to remember, saw somebody make the point that the issue with that is you will then see people just developing to the lowest common denominator. Which, might be then that you see a lot of things made as like Android apps, then that no, these should be developed more fully. Like everything then being a touch interface as opposed to having proper keyboard support, kind of stuff like that. It's like you do run the risk of that, which for some, yeah, that could definitely be a problem. I mean, still is nice to see that, but you know what? Let's do it. Ooh, that hurt me.
Fireworks! Get not the grand mojo what sits on the hood, or to make a great power for us. We must pass the gauntlet of flames lest we be christened up. Here's a chance!
Oh, that was interesting. Yeah, I launched forward somehow.
Mercy blow!
And by the way, speaking of lowest common denominator, that is one thing with Audio Effects Super Resolution. It's gonna be that, because it's in the whole, it'll work on any, on most any modern GPU. I think I saw somewhere it just requires programmable shader support. Which, yeah, that's a lot of GPUs. Come on. Ah, shit! The spinning out. That's why the accident. God damn it. I'm gonna hunt that thing down, because that's close. I don't care that this is already past an hour. Let's get going right away. Not get far. But yeah, and just the whole, it being the lowest common denominator and it being easy to implement, like, saw one thing. Apparently the Edge of Eternity developers said that, yeah, it took them 2 hours to put the code in. It took 4 hours to update their TAA method, though, to work with it properly. It's like, so implemented in a day. That's very quick, and so the fact that it also has broad hardware support combined means that, yeah, you'll probably see FSR in a lot of games. And so, yeah, it's going to catch on. Damn it, it regenerated. At least it is only these two.
I'll fix her. Just keep them off my back. They start from high. Try to rebel.
Hey, if you guys want to destroy it, that works for me.
War party approaching!
Because they're not getting out, it's like, okay, I gotta do this. Would you mind, actually? There we go.
What is this to worry about? Bring the artifact! In for the kill!
Hurry up.
Will also be interesting to see once the shader code is released. 'Cause that would mean then that like reshade can implement. Along with people just being able to make changes to it. I'm just checking. I don't remember if the armored version count as something separate or not. I already have one of these things? Huh. It would be giving a pop-up that the ability to store it. And hang on, I just spotted that there.
This is
Let me
Red
get that.
Island, and they mostly come at night. Yes, mostly.
So it's oh yeah, it is. So I'm gonna drive this one back. A little bit hard to control.
This might fall.
All right. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, let's have that. Stop speed boost. Stop. I don't really need it. Oh yeah, that's right. Since I'm close to that one, might as well just wait. Get that. There. That should prove helpful. Reduced handling, but increased acceleration. That's it. The V8s help balance that a little bit better. So just wait on that. Oh yeah. That's one of the last one. The pink eye territory. Oh yeah, what did I get? Sure. Not like I really need it. Don't use that. You know. It's already upgraded. Oh. I could take these further. There, that's it. Because that last one takes a mission. Also just could... Yeah. Might as well build this stuff up. Says I can. Might as well. I don't have any. Oh. That's nice. Didn't remember that that was a thing. There we go. I'll bet that that's... What the hell? What all have I just achieved? It just revealed stuff over here. Still need to figure out about this.
I heard of you. Your deeds, your wars.
Okay. I don't know. That was weird. Well, that isn't, but that I got a little bit more on it. That's not so bad. Oh wait, that doesn't matter. That. So yeah, I'm done then. So I can see you next. I'm just gonna actually quit out of the game before I stop it. Alright, hopefully next week will be an easy week. And will be interesting as well. I don't know if anything's coming up that'll be super interesting, but we'll see. We'll see. And yeah, I shall see you then. Goodbye.